Hey guys, it's Friday and it's Friday all day. You're on the spotlight with Magna, searchgroup.tv. Today we have two very special guests in studio, my good friends Sergio Pereira and Patrick Carr. Two guys with knives, a local entrepreneurial food and fitness venture here in Vancouver. And gentlemen, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Happy to be here.
Yeah, it's great. Another day in October. I think we have booming farmers markets and a lot of things happening in the world of food. Well, gentlemen, who is Two Guys with Knives? And tell me a little bit about the company.
It's us, guy one, guy two. We are the Two Guys with Knife. We offer a meal delivery service, products, and you deliver it to your door.
So each menu item that we do, it's a balance of fitness nutrition based meal planning. So each meal is a balance of lean protein, low glycemic carbohydrates, and vegetables.
Okay.
So you get a complete nutritional package within each dish that we create.
Awesome. And then I think I remember seeing that it's gluten-free.
It's entirely gluten-free.
Yep.
It's mostly dairy-free as well.
Okay.
The only dairy we use is occasional goat cheese, but each item can be further customized for any dietary preferences.
Okay, so a lot of your insight, I guess, a personal trainer. The meals are they designed to help with recovery and protein balance and carbohydrates and
Absolutely. So everything is low glycemic. So we don't use any refined sugar or flours or anything like that.
Okay.
So you'll notice when you eat something that we create, you don't get that heavy feeling after you've had like a really big indulgent meal. You'll feel full, but you'll digest super fast, which is always nice.
Yeah. Well, listen, I seen you guys dishing out some, I guess, of this week's a specialized menu, and I don't think I've ever come onto a show so hungry.
I heard it.
Yeah, that's right. Johnny's doing the sound check and my stomach's going, so right after this I'm to the fridge to try some of that stuff out. I think that's totally fantastic. So with respect to you guys deciding to get into your own business, you've been in business for over a year and a half now. Mm-hmm. You've grown quite substantially here in the local Vancouver market. What brought you guys together? Like, why did you say we need to start our own company and this is what we want to do? Like, what's the background behind that?
We got to a point where it just made sense. I was very busy training and Sergio was developing his own culinary side. Yeah. And I had a lot of my clients asking for meal planning because it's a huge part of my fitness programming that I do.
Yeah. And Sergio, you've been a chef for 15 years? Or
yes, 13, almost 15. So I have so much experience in the kitchen, all the culinaries around the world. And I decided to get our skill together as a personal trainer, fitness, and my cooking experience, and put this stuff together. Yeah,
well, I think that's quite unique. When you have like a partnership that comes from the practicality of eating properly. And I have been a bit of a gym rat, not on a regular basis, I think, at this stage of my life. But one thing that I've always learned is 75% of the results that I'm looking for was always based on the food that I put in my body. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people will struggle with that because they're so busy, so being able to shop, source their own locally sourced organic goods, put those meals together and make sure that they're balanced throughout the course of a busy work week, that's a struggle for professionals today.
Yeah, it takes a lot of time, and also financially too, the amount that you're going to put into buying all the components to make a healthy dish. Sometimes a lot of people find it's just easier to grab something quickly, right? So that's why we wanted to create a healthy alternative that's super easy for people to grab and go, and it's all sustainable as well.
And delivered to your door.
Yeah. So we bring the efficiency right to you.
You are what you eat, and your body is like 7% is your body is what you eat. So it's very important to eat healthy, especially for the busy professional or fitness guru person to do.
Yeah, well, no, we see that. I mean, listen, our business is finding people that are happy, focused, successful in their career and introducing them to something else that maybe would not be on the radar. So daily, we're talking to executives that are just that. They're focused, they're busy. I guess we don't always have insight on that work-life balance that they have. But within my personal professional group of friends, I see a lot of synergies with what you guys do and what they're looking for to, I guess, maximize their life. When you get up at 5:30 in the morning and it's 5:30 at night before you leave, especially this time of year, it's dark when you get up, it's dark when you go to work. So it's probably pretty nice to have something waiting for you at home that you can kind of just flash and heat and eat and get on with your day. Make sense?
And keep it healthy, right?
Yeah, totally.
Because when you're hungry, you grab something sometimes and it's not that healthy.
Awesome. Now, as an entrepreneur, it's not always easy to get started. So what were some of the challenges that you guys had in just getting everything off the ground and getting organized and getting that visibility that's important?
I think the first thing was just researching a little bit into the specific niche markets in Vancouver.
Okay.
Because you'll notice that even though everything's super close, you go to Kitsilano and then you go to Gastown, it's a very different way of life. People gravitate towards different things for their nutrition and their routine.
Yep.
So it was seeing what the similarities within all of those areas were, because there's always a few, that we could grab onto so we could maximize our reach within each area for us. And we found that the main things were convenience, which is why we offer the delivery service.
Yep.
The other was whole food balanced nutrition, especially with the amount of CrossFit that goes on, especially downtown.
That's true.
A lot of paleo options because it's very trendy within fitness right now as well. So if we could make each meal that's customizable for each person's specific dietary regime,
Yep.
then it's a no-brainer for a lot of people.
So within the menu planning, then, are you influenced by trends, or are you influenced by, what's your main influence when you're looking at designing a menu?
So I do like for different seasons menu. So I go by the season.
Yeah.
Example, right now is the fall. Is my favorite season. And I love to work with butternut squash, pumpkin, pear, cauliflower, sweet potatoes.
Yeah.
That I can go to the farmer. I can talk to the farmer and I can grab what I want. And I go to the kitchen. I plan a new dish, a new combination of ingredients, flavor. And I make an amazing dish to put in the menu for my amazing clients.
Awesome. So it sounds like locally sourced good
Yes.
food and
It's everything organic. You go to the farm, everything's local.
Yeah, perfect. No, I think people really understand that too, because I mean, notwithstanding the carbon footprint of bringing things from all over North America to
It's
Vancouver, you have so many, I guess, artisan, farmers or specialty producers of a number of different things within the Lower Mainland, at Vancouver Island, Sunshine Coast.
Yes.
You get exposed to so many different things.
Absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. I think that's great. Now, when you're looking at people that could potentially join your organization, what would be the one characteristic that you want to find in people that would be a good fit with the two of you guys?
Inspiration and driven in their own life. I think if people are inspired in what they're doing and they have a goal structure of what they are looking for and what they want to work towards, it makes them fantastic to work with. And if we can be like a little stepping stone in them creating what they want in their life, it works great for both ways.
Yeah,
so
perfect. So added value for the time that they're with you, and if they have a career progression that takes them onto other things inspired by their time working with two guys with a knife, that's okay.
And the thing that I love to do the most, I like to teach. So if someone come with like not so much skills, I'm gonna be so happy to teach and make him a very nice chef.
Awesome. Well, listen, I know Vancouver, it has such a diverse culinary scene. Absolutely. How much goes into your menu, your menu building or your product testing? Like, how much focus and time goes into developing a menu that changes on a weekly basis or monthly basis? How much?
We change our menu every week. So every Monday we put out a brand new menu. So the tasting component of it, it's always going because our dishes are always evolving. We bring back stuff that people request over time. But I think that's what makes it fun for us. We're always getting to be creative, and nothing's ever routine within the menu structure. So
so your clients never get bored. So
exactly.
They know what's coming, but they don't know exactly the taste of what's coming.
Exactly. The style will be similar, but the components will be completely different.
Well, I can see how that would work because, once listen, sometimes easy is really good in life because you have so many other things going on. And if you're balancing not just your career, but family or even physical activity, everything takes an investment of time. So I can see how that would be a big draw. A surprise on Monday. My problem would probably be I would eat through it all by Tuesday, be calling you back on Wednesday. What's left over, guys? I'm hungry. I'm dying.
That's okay.
Here.
We like those phone calls.
Awesome. Now, what inspires you about food?
Oh, it's part about food. So first of all, my mom, she inspired me.
Yeah.
Because she always put amazing dishes on the table with a beautiful presentation. She put the love when she was cooking. That love that she put when she was cooking, that inspired me in the food. So when I go to the market and I see all the products, I say, oh my God, I can do that with this, I can do that with that one thing, and I can put it like all together and can plan something else different for my clients to have different flavor. I can cook one week like French cuisine, another week Italian cuisine, another one Asian flavors, and I can mix and match and make like a final dish. Very amazing. Wow.
So it sounds like you get a lot of global influences with regards to your personal cooking style that you maybe tie into your home cooking element from South America. Is that fair to say?
Yes, fair to say. I have like a lot of experience like in Cuban restaurant, Asian restaurant, barbecue, steakhouse, Italian kitchens,
I'm
and
getting hungry listening.
and I bring all that in together to my dishes.
Yeah, amazing. Well, knowing your background as an athlete, I think the whole comment of you are what you eat, I get that. I understand that. What inspires you about what you're putting out for a product, Patrick? I mean, is it the results you see in your clients?
Results for sure.
Yeah.
Sergio's the flavor and the fun side of the food. I'm more the function. So when I look at designing a dish, I look at breaking down each component, seeing how much nutrition can be extracted from each part and making sure it's balanced. So for me, that's my inspiration. If I can create something that people will get the most out of within their body and it also tastes really good, that's kind of what inspires me, because I've always eaten for function based.
That makes sense, because I've noticed actually in your labeling on the food that's packaged, it actually has all the nutritional value.
Everything,
It spells it out, so an individual that's conscious about what they're putting into their body, how much they're putting into their body, maybe even regulating the times throughout the course of the day that they fuel themselves.
Absolutely,
really
because
important.
if they're on a very specific training regime and they need this amount of grams of carbohydrates and proteins per day, if they're getting that specific, we've taken all that work out for them. And if they're timing their meals a lot of the time too and having their more complex carbs earlier in the day, that's all broken down for them on the labeling too. So you can structure your meal planning that way also.
Okay. Now, your customers that are buying into this program, do they also have you gentlemen as a resource to explain the program or give them advice with respect to maybe either their performance goals from a fitness perspective or nutrition goals because they maybe have some health concerns? Like I think of these guys that are gluten free. Everybody seems to be, have celiac disease, right?
It's there's a lot of intolerance for sure.
Yeah.
I think people are just becoming more self-aware about what works within their body.
That's fair.
And what holds them back also.
Yeah, no, I think that's very fair. I think there's a lot more. There certainly is more education out there about what choices you have. And given an opportunity, if you have that choice to make a smart decision, you're going to make it.
Mm-hmm.
And the other dishes also has between 400 to 500 calories. So it's the calorie that we are looking for to put in our dishes.
Okay, and why is that important? That's just important, like in terms of having 3 balanced meals to a certain calorie count.
So if people are eating like a structured 3 meal a day, or if they're on more of a grazer 6 meals a day, they can, which I love. They can actually break each dish down into 2, and that'll be the perfect portion size.
Okay.
So it keeps your calories at a really moderate level with giving you everything you need. So
okay, that totally makes sense. Now we talked about Vancouver, being a culinary hotspot. What's your favorite restaurant in this city?
So, my favorite restaurant, it's my kitchen, where I prepare and I do everything. But if I go out with my friends for a nice dinner, I would say Crocodile. It's a French cuisine restaurant.
That's by the Sutton place, right?
Yes, exactly, around there.
Okay.
And everybody there well trained. They know everything to explain about the food. That's very important for me to hear.
Yeah.
And the presentation is gorgeous and the flavor is there. And you can see there is love in every single plate over there.
Well, you have to eat out. Like if you guys are going to do a menu like this and you're going to source, local ingredients and different things like that, you need to see what the chefs in the city are doing just to make sure that you're outside of your comfort zone.
Exactly.
Is that fair to say?
Well, there's always new places popping up too, right? So that's the fun part of research and development.
Yeah, I bet. But you guys should have like one of those sides that open up on your truck there. You can be a food truck as well.
That's going to be great.
Totally. What about yourself? What's your favorite restaurant? Is it the same one?
No, I'm a Thai guy. I could eat Thai every day and be super, super happy. So for me, really, Thai basil is always my go-to because it's super authentic Thai food. It has a little bit of spice. It has your balanced protein and vegetables, and it's delicious. So I could eat there every day.
Awesome.
But when you go there, I eat the rice. He only eats the vegetables and the protein. I love coconut rice, but the Thai cuisine is delicious.
That's called a solid partnership.
Yeah,
exactly.
Balance. Right?
Balance.
There you go.
Well, we talked a little bit about the show about just really coming up with a one-word description on your organization and the determination, integrity were the two things that kind of came up about what you guys embody with Two Guys with Knives. When you think about your vision and you think about the road ahead, what is the biggest thing that kind of stands out that you need to have to perform to that level?
I think for me, it's integrity, for sure.
Yeah.
Because it's we live what we do, right? So if we're selling exactly our lifestyle of how we live. So if we weren't embracing that to every component, we wouldn't be believing in it, right? So
that makes sense.
And as we evolve and we grow, then so will our business.
For me, it's like determination, because when you want something, you go for and you do it.
Yeah, well, listen, it's not easy. I mean, it's a lot of work, preparing, 500 meals a week, and
because it's hard.
Yeah,
and I was in a program before, and it's like you have to have like everything specific. You have to eat properly in 3 hours. You have to make your meal. You have to cook. You have to
prepare it, and get it ready for deliverable, and all that stuff.
That's true.
Yeah, no, that's a big job. I totally respect.
You have to be focused and just go for it.
Now, another thing I find interesting about yourself is you're an obstacle course specialist.
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
A, obviously you need to be well fed to do that, but B, what is that? Like, what is an obstacle course specialist?
It's an opportunity to crawl through the mud. There's a whole bunch out there ranging from 3 kilometer to 25 kilometer, depending on how adventurous you're feeling. But they're just a really great organization that you get to get out and meet some really, really great people and compete. And you can do it in a team environment or individual.
So have you done the Tough Mudders? I
have, yeah. I actually placed in the top 5%, so I got to be invited to World Mudder.
Really?
But I couldn't go. It was in New Jersey.
And how long does it take to like wash the mud off?
Well, it depends how long your photo ops are after.
Yeah, totally. Actually, I see some cross-promotional marketing opportunities for you guys. Because,
absolutely.
Anybody that finishes one of those courses is ravenous. They're like totally hungry.
I'll just get Sergio to stand at the end with one of them.
yeah, totally. Now, I know the story on how you guys met personally, and I think it's great that you started a business together. We talked about what you're looking for in people growing the team. I guess innovation, just to go back there a little bit, how would you describe innovation in your company? Like, what's going to make you different than anybody else that's putting, pre-planned meals together and delivering them?
What's going to make us different? Well, we're always challenging ourselves. So we're always changing our menu. I think having a new menu every week is super unique.
Fair.
A lot of people either do it seasonally or they'll do it once a month, where we offer it brand new every week. So that's a big difference. Also, we don't have to have a subscription service, so people can jump on one week and then travel the next week. They don't have to let us know. They can if they want to. A lot of meal delivery services, you have to sign up, and then if you don't want to order that week, you have to opt out. So I can see there's a lot of room for people to forget about that and get missed deliveries and things like that. So
customer service sounds like a big part of your business model.
Huge. And we wanted it to be as flexible as possible for people.
Yeah, so that makes sense, because I've done a lot of global traveling myself, and if you're there and you're planning your week, then it's easy to pick up the phone and say, okay, I'm here till Friday, guys. Let's do it. Let's go.
Yeah.
But then things change so fast, especially in the business world. Sometimes you have to take off and disappear, and I can see how that would be an added value component to your business model. That totally makes sense.
And we send out a weekly email blast as well with our menu, just so people know what we're doing that week. So they're always kept in the loop too. So if they are traveling and they forget, they always have that reminder that it's there if they want it.
Okay, that totally makes sense. Zero waste policy. I thought I might touch base on that, because obviously people are really concerned about environmental balance.
It's true.
When you're sourcing locally, you're reducing your carbon footprint, because you're not bringing whether it's a meat protein product or your vegetables from all over North America. You guys are trying to do the right thing based on what's available.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about that.
We try to have like the zero waste.
Yeah.
Like example, when I'm doing like a dish that I'm gonna do a squash risotto, so I try to get the seeds to put in the salad as well to have less waste possible. So you try to always combine some ingredients that are gonna be in different dishes that you eat to try to be as close as zero as possible.
Yeah. No, I think that's great. I mean, I had been exposed to this a little bit later on in my life, when you look at local cuisines and how menus develop, and it really comes down to using everything that's available and minimizing waste, and a lot of unique flavors and textures, and things that you wouldn't be able to find anywhere else in the world comes from taking that perception in how you build your meals.
And if all the leftovers also, I can like put everything together and plan another dish and can all eat in the kitchen as well.
Listen, I don't think you guys have any leftovers. I've eaten your food. There's no leftovers there. I don't believe that for a second.
Sometimes.
Yeah. Okay. Now, with regards to resumes and references, do you really spend a lot of time looking at people's paperwork, or do you get to know the individual?
Prefer to meet them. I think a resume is a good way to get a brief overview of maybe what they've accomplished, where they've gone, what they've done with their life.
Yeah.
But I think the real resume is when you sit down with them and you see what they're all about, because their inspiration and what they believe in will shine through with everything that they say.
Yeah.
So
I'm a big believer in eyeball-to-eyeball communication and meeting people. I think it's the biggest thing in building a team. A, to set the relationship, but B, really to kind of get a measure of the individual, to kind of see that they're on the same page. A lot of discussion in our business it's about cultural fit. Communication's a really big thing in any organization. But being able to identify like-minded people really comes from having a personal connection. Totally agree with that. Now tell me about a couple of sacrifices you gentlemen have made to get here.
So for me, first of all, like I came from Brazil, so I left my whole family in Brazil.
Yep.
And I do have two beautiful kids. My son is 15, my daughter she's 12, and I try to keep in touch with them pretty much every day as much as I can.
Yep.
But it's hard for me to be apart from them. So this is the biggest sacrifice.
Well, that makes sense.
And as I knew in the country as well, I like to open a business to look for everything how to do properly and right. It was not easy. But
well, that would make sense because obviously it's a different country. There's different rules. English isn't your first language, so having to kind of wrap your head around everything and just do your due diligence so that you're making the best decision for yourself personally, for your family, and professionally.
Because I would love to give them the future, the best quality of life, and bring them also to Canada is the best gift ever for them.
Yeah, there you go. How about yourself? Sacrifices.
Well, I guess for me, it's been a balance of what I want to pursue the most, right? Because I work in fitness. I love working in culinary. I went to film school as well. So for me, it was deciding where to put the most time and the most effort. And it just came down to fitness and nutrition is just such a big part of what I love to do and what I love to help people with.
Yeah.
So, so I guess that for me.
Okay, well, no, that makes sense because you have a couple of different passions. And when I think of successful athletes, I know how much focus goes into it. Like, not that there's not focus in anything else that you do, but concentrated focus. If you're going to be an athlete, you're on for like a defined period of time, and you have X amount to execute. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it makes sense. Okay. Best advice you've never listened to. What do you think?
Be realistic. I guess I've always been a dreamer, which has been, I think, a positive thing of where I've come from and what I've achieved so far. But I was always, whenever I'd speak to my dad about what I wanted to do, he would say, with love and good intention, to just always be realistic. But I think... Are
you sure that's not from Aladdin?
It could be from Aladdin. I also sing a lot of show tunes. But I don't know. I think being realistic makes us put limits on what we can achieve and what we can do.
Yeah.
So I like to just think super big, and otherwise you never have the opportunity to get there.
So think big and put incremental milestones in place so that you can achieve your goals.
Small goals that lead to a massive goal at the end.
Awesome.
I try to be very strong because I like people from my family.
Yeah.
And my friend says, "Oh, are you going to be a chef? That's a job. You should try to go for an engineer. You should try to become a doctor, a lawyer. That's a real job." I say, real job? You have to do what you love, and I love to cook, so I'm going to become a chef, and here I am.
Yeah. Well, listen, I do. I see that every day with the people that we deal with and individuals that are passionate. And you can find passionate engineers and lawyers.
Yes.
But people that are passionate will ultimately be successful within their chosen profession. So we see that all the time at Magna Search Group.
So I would say then whatever the profession they choose, just go for your heart. If you love it, go and do it.
I totally agree. If you could create one thing in life, what would it be?
I would like to create a big kitchen that I could cook for kids, for old people, because I like to help them. So in my free time, I would like to cook and invite all these people to come to eat and have a nice meal and go home, have a nice sleep.
Oh, cool. How about yourself?
For me, I'd like to create a platform of education within fitness and nutrition that anybody can access to enhance their life. For me, if I can leave that kind of information for people and help them clear up any questions about what they want to accomplish, that for me, that would be super rewarding.
Cool. Now, obviously, both you guys, love helping people, and I think that fundamentally that's one of the main business drivers in this partnership and in driving your business. So it's totally clear on from my perspective that you guys bring that to the table each and every day. How will people find out about you? So where do they have to go? How do they find out about Two Guys with Knives?
They can go to our snazzy new website, twoguyswithknives.com. We have Instagram, Twitter.
Yep.
We're getting our van also wrapped next week, so that'll be out and about in downtown Vancouver.
Awesome. Spot the van?
Yes. Spot the van.
Pinterest, LinkedIn, all the social medias.
Yeah, perfect. Awesome. Well, listen, I want to thank both you gentlemen for joining us in the studio today. Sergio and Patrick, we wish you all the best with a booming business, Two Guys with Knives, local here to Vancouver, soon to be across Canada. You are on the Spotlight with MagnaSearchGroup.tv. You can find us on Stitcher Radio, iTunes, YouTube, and probably a whole bunch of other places that I forgot my call sign. Tune in next week. We'll have another great guest here on MagnaSearchGroup.tv.